This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories, and welcome to my review of the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 6, From the Desert Comes a Stranger. And I'm warning you, there are very major spoilers for this episode. A lot of big stuff happens, including some crazy moments that we've all wanted to see for such a long time. So if you have not watched the episode, please go watch it before you watch any reviews. Cub Vanth has to deal with some pikes that are trying to trade spice outside of his town of Mos Pelgo, and he is able to shoot down most of the pikes and sends one back to tell their bosses that this territory is off limits for them, and if anyone else returns, they will be taken out by him. And once they leave, we then cut away to an unknown world where Din Djarin lands his starfighter so he can go and meet with Grogu and bring him the gift he had the armorer make for him. And as he exits his ship, he is led by R2-D2 to a building that is under construction by droids, who also construct a bench for him to wait on, and R2-D2 does shut down and waits for someone to come, but it is not Luke and Grogu who are discovering what happened to Grogu during Order 66, since he suppressed the memories of that dark day. It is actually Ahsoka Tano, who has met up with the son of her former master, most likely to connect with him and help him with his Jedi training, both of himself and of Grogu. And Ahsoka goes and talks to Din Djarin, telling him that he should not be here, and that if Grogu sees him again, things will just be made worse, and that the real reason he is here is for him and not for Grogu. She does agree to give the gift to Grogu, and Din Djarin leaves. But at the same time, Grogu watches as the ship flies away, although he is not certain it is the man he sees as a father. He most likely suspects that it's him, but that is not important at the moment. He continues his training with Luke as he practices many skills, and when he does begin to have problems, Luke goes to teach him more of the Force and of his species, saying that he knew another Jedi of the species named Yoda, and once he does that, Luke goes back and helps Grogu train on a log. At the same time, Ahsoka comes up to him and begins to talk to him as they talk about the training of Grogu and his attachment to the Mandalorian. Ahsoka does give the gift to Luke to give to Grogu, and she says that she does have to go. Luke does wonder if he will see her again. She says she does not know, but also remarks how he is very similar to his father and leaves. Luke then goes to collect Grogu and go back to his still under construction Jedi Temple, and we once again cut back to Tatooine, where Din Djarin does land and meet with Boba Fett and begin to make a plan. And they know that although they do have some very experienced warriors, with Din Djarin and Black Chrysanthemum being there, they will need an army to take on the Pikes. And Din Djarin offers up help and goes to the town of Mos Pelgo to meet with Cobb Vanth and see if he can get help from them. He lands his new starfighter there, and after the deputy tries to get him to move it, Cobb Vanth ignores it and says that it is fine, and catches up with his old friend. And after Din Djarin does ask for help, Cobb Vanth is hesitant, but says he will consider it, and gets ready to call a town meeting. But just moments later, a man walks in, not specifically a man, but a Duros bounty hunter, who is clearly Cad Bane. And he goes up to Cobb Vanth and begins to try to negotiate with him, telling him that his employers will go and match what Boba Fett would offer, and all they have to do is stay out of their way. But Cobb Vanth definitely sees him as a threat and refuses to go and help them. And this angers Cad Bane, who goes and guns down both Vanth and his deputy. He leaves the newly named Freetown, telling them his employer will get their way. And this begins with Boba Fett's cantina being bombed by some of the Pikes. And finally, we return to Luke's Jedi Temple, where he offers Grogu a choice. He brings out the Beskar armor that the Mandalorian brought him, but also he brings out the lightsaber that once belonged to Yoda and gives him a choice for him to return to the Mandalorian and not become a Jedi, or to reject the ways of the Mandalorian and become a Jedi. And while this was a crazy episode, I cannot believe that they will put so much in that we've wanted to see in Star Wars, and almost none of it was related to Boba Fett, besides Cad Bane. And well, the main thing is, and I'll probably have an entire video talking about this in a few days, we finally got our first scene with Luke Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano together, and that's just amazing. I have always wanted to see this scene, and I'm just it would be like, and the only thing that could have been better is if we got their first encounter, since they do already know each other at this point. I so hope that is part of the Ahsoka series. That was such an amazing scene. So just so great to see them together. We'll see in The Apprentice of Anakin, who he saw as a little sister. At least she saw him as a brother, and it was just an amazing moment to see the two together. Yeah, I'm probably gonna make a full video just talking about how amazing that was. But once I saw her there, I was like, if they don't have Luke and Ahsoka together, I'm honestly gonna lose it. But thankfully they did. And that was a personal highlight of the episode. But it was also awesome to see Cad Bane return and come into live action. And in fact, I will probably have a short video talking about a custom Cad Bane I built. And it's mainly using pieces from the original figure, but actually looks a lot more like this. And I was like, I just wish it was the darker skin color head, but I actually technically have a Cad Bane minifigure from the Book of Boba Fett. Don't worry, I'll show that off. I'll probably do it next Wednesday. Give it about a week to get people to see it. So that'll come out, well, next Wednesday, as I said, and yeah, it's just so crazy to see all of these characters appear. But I also like how we got a nice moment between Ahsoka and R2, recognizing they did have history, but also it seems that Luke now knows that R2 belonged to his father, and I'm wondering what else he would learn from R2. But yeah, that was still really crazy. I just can't believe that we got that. And going back to it, going to just the Book of Boba Fett stuff that actually happened, not stuff well setting up the wider universe. I think that we had such a great time with this. We had Cobb Vanth, and he is going to be, well, if he survives, helping out Boba Fett, and likely creating some kind of alliance where he's basically getting to keep Freetown to himself, who will also be protected by Boba Fett once he's able to, get some more permanent muscle into his employment, since I'm guessing only Chris Santon will be one of the skilled people he has working for him that will stay, since the Mandalorian does have his own thing to do, and obviously the mods really aren't too skilled, and I mean they're also not that popular, so most people wouldn't mind if they were all wiped out in the next episode. But still, I think this is going to be crazy. I really want to see the inevitable final battle between Boba Fett and Cad Bane. And I had to re-record that like 3 times because I don't know why. Couldn't say Cad Bane for a minute. And yeah, I think that we're also going to see an interesting encounter between Cobb Vanth and Boba Fett, since Cobb Vanth used to have the armor. And I could be interesting to see him get new armor eventually, and maybe even become a good ally of Boba Fett. And there's just so much more crazy stuff. I love the Order 66 scene we got. It was such a cool flashback just to see clone troopers in live action for the first time since what was it, Revenge of the Sith. I haven't actually seen anything well as actually new with clone troopers in live action since I watched Revenge of the Sith for the first time on a DVD. That's crazy. But of course, I've watched a lot of Clone Wars, and I'm surprised we didn't get any voiceover since, well, they already had Tamora Morrison there. And I do kind of like the joke that I did see on some of the comments on other videos where they said they loved the Boba Fett cameo in this episode since he barely appeared. And yeah, that is funny. Also, it is kind of bad that he didn't really appear at all in this. And he probably should have gone with Mando to at least meet with everyone. I think that could have been a little better, but that's well something for later. And the final thing is, I think that we may actually, well, I think that's the episode. There's some other stuff I want to say about the structure of it, but the final thing I have to really say about predictions and stuff is that we really have an interesting turning point here. I think that this could be a moment that either leads to the sequel trilogy or not lead to it, because it seems that Grogu was not at the Academy the night everyone was killed, so I'm guessing if he does go with the Mandalorian, then he will basically cause the sequel trilogy to happen. But if he stays with Luke, he will be a lot more skilled and powerful and be able to defeat Ben Solo if he does turn. And that could prevent the sequels from happening. So I think that this is really exciting no matter what happens, and I'm very excited to see how this continues. So yeah, let me know. And let me play a part that I already recorded. I kind of forgot to talk about the temple raid and my theory. So let's continue my part I already recorded and finish this video up. Yeah, I am really excited just to see how this continues. I'm I'm not sure what else they're going to put in, but my best guess is how they were saying that there was going to be an episode that was kind of, put together. I'm guessing it's the one with Luke and Ahsoka, and that would be put as one, and I think the last scene was moved from just after that scene to the end of this episode, since it was put into one full one. And I can see why they did that, because the other episode would have probably been really short, because that would have just been the Cobb Vanth scene, and the one in Jabba's Palace, and the one with Cad Bane. It might have had some of the finale, but I think that their decision to cut an episode and just have all of this put together is a good one. Although I think that another episode with more story content that they haven't even done yet could have been better. Although we haven't seen the finale yet, and according to Tamara Morrison, it's supposed to be crazy. But yeah, I am just so excited to see how this continues. This episode of Book of Boba Fett, it was insane, not for the reason it was a great Boba Fett storyline, but just a great Star Wars storyline overall. I so want to know what you think of this in the comments. Tell me, what was your favorite moment? Was it seeing Luke? Was it seeing Ahsoka? Was it seeing Cad Bane, Cobb Vanth, or seeing Luke and Ahsoka together, or Luke and R2, or Ahsoka and R2, or seeing Grogu? Please let me know in the comments. I really want to know that. And I'll see you all next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.